Houthi rebels in Yemen say they flew armed drones across the border far into Saudi Arabia to attack two major oil facilities. If confirmed, it's their most ambitious and devastating operation, following dozens of smaller-scale strikes in the kingdom in recent months.
We exploited vulnerabilities in the Saudi defense system and we built our drones in order to avoid these systems. Therefore, the Saudi and Emirati airspace became open to us after the defense systems failed to even spot the drones.
The US Secretary of State blames Iran for Saturday's attacks. Mike Pompeo says there's no evidence they were launched from Yemen, although he hasn't explained how Iran is to blame or where the drones took off from. Iran is dismissing Pompeo's accusation as meaningless. Foreign Minister Javad Zarif tweeted, having failed at maximum pressure, Secretary Pompeo is turning to maximum deceit. US and its clients are stuck in Yemen because of the illusion that weapon superiority will lead to military victory, blaming Iran won't end disaster. The state-owned oil company Saudi Aramco says the fire started by the attacks knocked out more than half its entire daily output, close to 6 million barrels. Saudi energy minister says stockpiles of oil will be used to offset the loss.
Alam mo yung drone, di ba? Yung camera na lumilipad. May remote yun eh.
In 1990, and it's not clear how long repairs will take. Analysts say Saudi Arabia's oil
Siyempre, pag baba nun, sasabog yun.
which the Houthis are threatening.
Kung saan nila, parang helicopter na remote din, di ba? Ganun din yung
It's very difficult for the Saudis to guarantee their own security over all of those infrastructure targets. So certainly a strategic vulnerability for them.
The attacks may also undermine investor confidence in
refinery yan eh.
anticipated stock market debut.
50% nga yung ano, nawala. Nabawasan ng ano nila, product.
I don't think it will affect the IPO. Aramco is global supply. 10% of the global supply come from Aramco. And when Aramco help the global economy and the global source of energy. So the world won't accept this lead to Aramco. No saying, so they really want to help.
The attacks, which have cut 6% of the world's oil supply, could drive up prices. The impact will depend on how quickly the Saudis can restore full production. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
Iran's President Hassan Rouhani has called for regional talks to resolve the conflict in Yemen.
What is concerning is the wrong path of the Americans in the region. They are supporting Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Instead of confessing to their role in creating instability, they point the finger at other countries in the region. Dialogue between regional neighbors is the only solution to resolving the conflict.
Al Jazeera's Dulce Jabari has more on the Iranian reaction from Tehran.
Iranian President Hassan Rouhani commented on the latest accusations made by the U.S. government that Iran was involved in the attacks in Saudi Arabia. Hassan Rouhani said that the United States, instead of pointing the finger at other countries, needs to take a look at its own role in creating
Inano kasi ng US, Iran, tapos meron naman nagano na Yemen.
Arms to Saudi Arabia and the Emirates coalition that is waging Yemen. He urged
Wala naman silang ebidensya.
to resolve this conflict
Puro
and
lang
have
ito.
some kind of stability in this region is through dialogue. The Iranians have said over and over again that they are willing to mediate between all the parties involved.
Matanda na yung ano ng Iran, no?
This conflict. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has also said in the past that these kinds of accusations only further ties between Tehran and Washington. They do not help to create any kind of dialogue between the two countries. That is something the U.S. President Donald Trump has said he's interested in having a meeting with the Iranian president at the United Nations later this month. But given the current climate and the accusations that have been coming at the Iranian officials, it is very unlikely that President Hassan Rouhani will be open to that kind of meeting until these sanctions are lifted on Iran and this kind of behavior that Iran says has been waged at them is changed for the time being.
And I've got Kristen Tsunami in Washington, D.C. for us. Kristen, the U.S. calls between government officials, national security officials, and other countries in response to what's happening. So we may hear more about that in the coming days. For the United States, this is not just an attack on one of its closest allies in the region, but it's also largest oil supplier, further provocation and a tense relationship between Iran and the United States, a tense relationship that's been in place ever since the United States decided to withdraw from the nuclear deal with Iran and other countries. Since then, the Trump administration has been engaged in what it calls a maximum pressure campaign against Iran, attempting to tighten the financial noose around Iran, increase pressure on them, bring them back to the bargaining table over their nuclear program. This is seen as something that could further escalate that situation, driving up oil prices, taking a toll on global markets and perhaps the global economy. Kellyanne Conway is a White House counselor, and she was speaking on some talk shows here in the United States earlier today, and she said that the United States will take steps to mitigate that. They could open their strategic oil reserves, for example, to help keep the prices down here. But many analysts are predicting that nevertheless this will have an effect on oil prices globally.
Yeah, and we'll look at the impact on the global oil market very shortly. Chris, in June earlier this year, the US planned, and then at the last minute, they called off an attack on Iran, on Iranian military facilities after Iran allegedly downed the US drone over the Persian Gulf. Has there been any talk this time around of retaliatory strikes against Iran?
Well, that plan was advocated by National Security Advisor John Bolton, who has since been forced out of the administration by President Trump. President Trump accused him of being too bellicose and wanting war. He was hoping to pressure, as I said, the Iranians back to the negotiating table with this maximum pressure campaign. He even held out the prospects of a face-to-face meeting with President Hassan Rouhani coming up at the UN General Assembly later this month. The question now is that invitation still open? Some in the president's party have suggested that the State Department should deny visas to Iranian officials coming to the United States. Kellyanne Conway was asked about the possibility of a meeting and the possibility of retaliatory strikes. She said that she didn't want to get ahead of the president or Mike Pompeo's on that subject in particular. She said there are many options on the table, but she did seem to hold open the possibility that a meeting could also still take place. And certainly on the left here in the U.S., officials are pushing for something to calm tensions as opposed to escalate them. So we'll see what the president decides later.
Thank you very much for that, Kristen Salumi, live for us in Washington. Well, let's now speak to Peter Cardillo, who's Chief Market Economist at Spartan Capital Securities, is live from New York. Thank you so much for being with us. So what impact do you see these attacks having on the global oil market in the short term and in the long term?
Well, in the short term, obviously, we'll have a spike up. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see the price of oil tick up to around $60, possibly even $65. But I don't think it'll be long-lasting because, there were reports coming out from the Wall Street Journal not too long ago suggesting that Saudi Arabia is aiming to put back its two-thirds of its production loss on Monday, which is tomorrow. So with that, the world is pretty much well supplied with oil at this time. And so I think whatever happens is going to be short-lived. And that doesn't mean that this negates the geopolitical problem that we have in that part of the world. Absolutely not. And that's going to continue. So if anything, I suspect